The matchup set on the men's side are Novak Djokovic versus Jannik Sinner and Daniel Medvedev versus Carlos Alcaraz. Spoiler-o, I've got Djokovic Alcaraz as my picks to meet in the finals. Let's talk a little bit about why, starting with Novak Djokovic's performance at Wimbledon, because in the fourth round, I saw Hubert Hurcacz put up the single best attempt against Djokovic I have seen on grass in the years I've been following the sport closely. And it got him one set. Like, this man in his first three sets was putting 90+% of his first serves in at over 128. That's 200 kilometers an hour. With pinpoint accuracy, Djokovic was getting no chances. In each of the tiebreakers that got played, Hubert had a chance to serve for the match or for the set. One of those, Djokovic chipped a return kind of into no man's land. Hurcacz tried to go big on the forehand and couldn't get it. The other one, Djokovic just had a crazy return and outlasted Hurcacz, and then rode that momentum to take each tiebreaker. It wasn't just a big serving game though. There was a lot of mental fortitude that accompanied the big serving game, which is what made it such an impressive attempt against Djokovic. In the second set, right before the tiebreak, Hubert's thinking I lost the first tiebreak, and he got himself into trouble in his service game at 6-5, I think. Maybe it was 5-5. But he goes down love 40 and then gets the next 5 points in a row, just free off his first serve, unreturnable for Djokovic. It was that kind of response to adversity that made it so compelling. After two sets, they called it for the night, and you had to go back. And starting to the third set, I was thinking Hurcacz, it would almost be impossible to serve better than he did. And he lost those two sets. What is he going to be thinking? How's he going to come out? And he came out so free, so aggressive, but still really smart shot margin. Somehow he did serve better. And so it wasn't that surprising when he took the set off of Djokovic, breaking him finally for the first time at Wimbledon this year, that anyone even got break points, let alone capitalized on them. Nonetheless, that first serve finally trailed off in the fourth set. He still has ridiculous service numbers for the match. A pet peeve I found for Wimbledon is they don't give you set-by-set stats, just match stats. So his first serve stats are really impressive, 80-something% of the points won, with over 70% of them in. But they were way more impressive in those first three sets. But Djokovic does as Djokovic does, and he just broke Hurcacz down mentally by demanding a performance that is so far seems impossible to maintain for the 4 or 5 hours necessary to maintain it, to beat Djokovic at a Grand Slam, unless your name is Nadal and you're standing on Roland Garros courts. That, as always, is somewhat of a different story. Anyway, off of the back of that match, it was hard to imagine Rublev, who has never won a quarterfinals Grand Slam match, pose much trouble for Djokovic. Also, the game of Rublev, less the weakness of the second serve and the way his forehand is more just suited to be a foil against Djokovic's game. Rublev was able to take a set off Djokovic. You did see some of the tremendous mental growth that we talked about when he won his first Masters at Monte Carlo last April. There was this really heartbreaking clip. I think it was against Alcaraz at the US Open last year, where he just started crying at the changeover when he realized this is another Grand Slam quarterfinal that I'm losing. And there was none of that self-pity here. He put up a really tough effort. The set he took off was great. He never looked defeated. He made Djokovic win by the slimmest margins. But Djokovic is as Djokovic does. So Jannik Sinner, who will play in the semifinal, someone who had Djokovic down 2-0 in the quarterfinals at Wimbledon last year before Djokovic went off, changed, did his self-meditation thing, made maybe the greatest shot I've ever seen on grass, and stormed back to take it in 5 sets. That's going to be on Sinner's mind here in the semifinals. And like I haven't watched Sinner play a match yet this tournament. Oh, and the reason for that is like he hasn't been in any highly billed matches. Like his fourth round, or excuse me, quarterfinals win over the Roman Sofilin, who took out Denis Shapovalov. Impressive. He really took over in those late sets. It looked like by the numbers, he's had a really good serve return so far. I just don't think he's faced anyone like Djokovic. And more concerningly for him, his first serve hasn't landed in at more than like 60% yet in a single match. And he's winning like over 80% of those points, but I think that's going to go down. And if that goes down and it comes and you're not getting many of them in and it really becomes about your second serve, I just imagine Djokovic is going to get his chances every set. And that has been the type of tennis Sinner has played. He's only the first round match did he not get broken in. So it's been more about, I'm going to break you more than you're going to break me. And I'm going to come out with the sets. And he does have the slide, the length, the instinct. His serve return is there. And I think he is poised to be the biggest challenge to Djokovic's serve. But that serve is still going to be too good, I think. So I've got Djokovic. Maybe it takes 4 sets. I don't think it goes 5 this time. Then on the other side, Alcaraz Medvedev. I'll try and move this along a little quicker. Basically, I kind of expect it to go as their Miami or Indian Wells final did, where Alcaraz really utilizes the drop shot, uses the completeness in his game to just make the unorthodox and unique styles of Medvedev weak. He's struggled against the serve and volley at times all tournament. I think Alcaraz is able to implement it at the highest level, and on the grass, that is going to be a huge difference. Medvedev in his 5-setter against Eubanks showed that like at time the serve just falls off, and I think Alcaraz has been slowly raising his level all tournament, and that even if there's a set or even 2 sets of struggles, he's going to have it in him to adapt, and we're going to have another matchup between Alcaraz Djokovic. We'll see. It is a really interesting semifinal between Medvedev Alcaraz in terms of inexperience. Like neither player has been here on Wimbledon at the semifinals. Both players have had their experience at the Grand Slam final. Clay, you give Medvedev or Alcaraz the advantage, excuse me. You're supposed to give Medvedev the advantage on hard court, especially the outdoor hard court. Of course, the Indian Wells outdoor hard court of 2023 was not, Medvedev was very vocal about complaining about. So I don't know if grass is neutral ground or just how advantageous the serve and volley can be, and as well as the drop shot, both of which Alcaraz just excels in so much that I'm giving him the edge over Medvedev.